After 35 years working the London Underground, I took early retirement and left the grey skies behind. I sold my semi-detached in Croydon, packed up my vinyl records, and moved to Cebu in the Philippines. I'd read about it online, cheap beachfront apartments, warm weather, friendly people. It sounded like a dream, and after decades of routine, I was ready to chase one. The bungalow I rented wasn't fancy, but it sat close enough to the water that I could hear the waves at night. My pension went far. The pace was slow, the food good, and for the first time in years I felt noticed. People smiled, they looked you in the eye. That's how I met Marissa, early 30s, soft voice, dark eyes, selling mangoes and bananas by the pier. She always had a little flower tucked behind her ear. We struck up a conversation that first week. I stumbled through bits of Tagalog, she giggled at my pronunciation. Soon, I was buying fruit daily whether I needed it or not. It felt natural the way she eased into my life. She'd bring home-cooked food, help around the bungalow, sit with me on the veranda during sunsets. Her younger brother needed help with school, her mother's prescriptions weren't covered. I helped. It felt good to help. I thought, this is companionship finally. 6 months later, she moved in. I felt younger, lighter, like I'd started a second life. She began talking about marriage. I hesitated at first, my divorce back in England had drained me, but when she cried one night telling me she felt unsafe, unvalued without it, I agreed. We had a simple beach ceremony. She said she'd never been married before, at least not officially, and that reassured me. I never thought to check. She handled the paperwork with a local fixer. I paid for everything. 2 weeks after the wedding, she said her aunt in Manila had fallen ill. She left with a small suitcase and a kiss on the cheek. She never came back. At first I worried, then I called, no answer. Then her Facebook vanished. I contacted the police, but they weren't optimistic. Everything I'd given her, money, land paperwork, gifts, had been voluntary. The marriage was real. The love perhaps wasn't. Months later, with the help of a local contact, I found her living in Davao with a younger man. When I showed up at the gate of their small compound, she refused to come outside. A man, not him, someone else, told me to leave. Was it all fake? I asked through the bars. I wasn't shouting, just tired. She appeared in the doorway for a moment. You gave what you gave, she said. I never promised more than what you wanted to hear. I stood there, gripping the metal rail. You said you weren't married before. She didn't answer. Later, I learned through someone in her barangay that she was still legally married to a man who'd left her years ago. The marriage to me hadn't been properly registered. Whether she lied or believed her own story, I'll never know. Legally, I had no claim. Emotionally, I'd already lost everything worth fighting for. I didn't leave the Philippines. Maybe I should have, but I stayed. Moved to a smaller place, taught English to kids a few days a week. I found other expats, some burned, some lucky. We traded stories that all ended the same. We wanted connection and we paid for it. I don't hate her, not anymore. Maybe I was her survival plan. Maybe I was just one chapter in a life harder than mine ever was. Some evenings I sit on the sand with a beer, watching the tide come in. I think about what was real and what wasn't, and I try to forgive both of us. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe.